Hey guys, Michael Prescott here, divorced father, survivor of family court, disabled vet, and a chronic PTSD patient. I'm here to talk to you today about understanding court procedures. So there's two topics to really focus on there. One is the actual divorce itself, and it's where two parties are getting divorced and they put on paper what they expect from this divorce. Who gets what, breaking down the expenses, who pays for what. If you have kids, it's going to be a big nightmare. Who stays in the house, who's going to pay for the house, who gets what car, who's going to pay for the car, insurance, cell phone bills, health care, food, child support, even alimony. So most cases, the guy's going to pay for the majority of stuff, including, your ex's attorney. You're going to pay for a guy to kick your own ass. And she can hire whoever she wants, and make no mistake, she's probably going to hire somebody that's twice as expensive as your attorney. So preparing for divorce, knowing that it's a battle and you're going to argue over who gets what plate and who gets what jacket and who gets what. Listen, my advice to you is don't argue over material things, because it'll cost you more than they're worth. It's kind of like when I see somebody go and put all their stuff in storage and it's valuable to them. So they lock it in a storage unit, and here, a year later it's still in storage and they're paying, $400 a month for the storage unit. Well, times 4 is $4,800. So then I ask them, is that stuff worth $4,800? In most of the cases, it's not. Or it might be worth, let's say it's worth $6,000. Well, if you sold it a year ago and you got $3,000 for it, that's $3,000 in your pocket. But now you've got your stuff there. You've paid $4,800 and it's worth $1,200. I'd rather have the $3,000 if that makes sense to you. So don't argue over the material stuff. Make your divorce simple and get through it. So your procedures are, number one, you go before the judge and you have two parties, and these are our wishes, and we've come to an agreement and we've signed off on it. And then the judge will question you, is this what you agreed to? And you're okay with that? I'm okay with that. And maybe it's going to say, oh, this is allowed or this isn't, and sign off on it. It's done. Now, the sad part is, here's a great example. Everything we agreed to on my end, my ex broke all the agreements, and no punishment. The judge didn't enforce it. He didn't make her honor it. He didn't follow through on it. And I paid a lot of money for those terms. Matter of fact, I gave her $75,000 to agree on certain things. And then she did none of it. She took my money and said, I'm not doing any of it, and the court didn't enforce it. So I'm like, why am I even paying for an attorney to go have a judge say, I agree to this, but I'm not going to uphold it? It's a waste of time, waste of money. So after that, it's like every time you're in court thereafter, it's about one person or the other filed a complaint on the ex-spouse. Oh, my ex didn't do this, or my ex didn't give me my kid on my visitation day, or my kid was hurt, or my ex took my kid out of state without my permission. This type of stuff happens all the time. Happened to me numerous times, over and over and over. They never did anything about it. I had my ex took my kid for like 3 months and disappeared. Never got put in jail. Never got arrested. And I was told, oh, we'll get makeup. Now, she had my kid for 3 months straight. Well, I'm like, okay, now I get my kid for 3 months straight. No, we can't do that. So, because those 3 months she had straight, well, half of that was her time anyway. So you'll get your kid for a month and a half. How does that work? Well, that's the only time you missed, because the other month and a half was hers. But she had 3 in a row. I went 3 in a row. To me, that's fair. But that's not how the court works. So understanding your procedures. It's very important that when you sit down with an attorney, should you go that route, which I most typically would not advise, but when you sit down with an attorney, ask, man, you better have a checklist of questions, and you better have an hour with that attorney uninterrupted. But ask, what is the protocol? How will this play out? What typically happens? We have two people butting heads that hate each other. So what's going to lay out in this case? How many times I'm going to be in court? What's the realistic expectations? And if you've got an attorney that's telling you, oh man, she's a bitch, we're going to get everything, we're going to go after her, and we're going to get it, just leave. He's lying to you. He's telling you what you want to hear to get you on board and start collecting money. The reality is family court's not fair, and you're going to get probably 3 to 4 out of 10 wins in family court because she carried the baby through term and she's the mother. And that's the way the court is. I don't care what they say. Oh, this is a joint custody state. When we go equal, bullshit. Bullshit. So know your procedures. Know what to expect before you walk in. Because listen, man, if you get an attorney that's going to be honest with you, you're not going to walk in there thinking, oh, I'm going to get this bitch and we're going to show her, and walk out there angry and pissed off. That's not going to work for you. So be strong, but be knowledgeable. Do your homework and ask the tough questions of your attorney. And if he doesn't want to sit down and take the time to explain it, he's like, hey, I got this, just leave, then he's an asshole. Find a new attorney. Understand this is your family, it's your child, or children, and there's nothing more important to you, and make sure your attorney understands that. I had a lawyer that was just like, yeah, I just want to make sure you can pay me. You got the money? Can you pay me? Are you gonna afford this? Because I don't want to put any hours in. And crazy enough as it is, he was one of the better attorneys. And but I knew what I got and what I was getting, and so prepare for your divorce, ask the right questions, learn for what's involved, and understand what's going to be involved with custodial rights. Leaving state, leaving county, visitation, custody time spent. That's very important. And keep your finances in order. I wish you all the best out there. Listen, I'm right there with you. I've been through everything. If you watch all my videos, you'll understand. I go a lot deeper, and I've experienced what most others, I never want anyone to experience. So I love you. I wish you all the best, and I'm here for you. Call me anytime. Michael Prescott, Family Court Survivor. Take care, guys.